What is up, ladies and gents? It's Joe Brown, the founder of AddictedToSuccess.com. We are officially live. Thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate you being here with me. And I had a number of people sending in some questions for this live training. So I'm so excited to be on here. We haven't done a live call actually on the Addicted to Success page. I've done it a lot on my personal page and done a lot of coaching and webinars and trainings and one-on-ones and speaking on stage and all that. But this is awesome. I love that you're here, that you're showing up and you're ready to learn the good words and the good wisdom when it comes to achieving success online. So thank you so much for joining us. If you have any questions throughout this presentation and throughout this conversation we have, please just leave it in the comments section below. I'll shout you out and I'll answer your questions because I'm here to serve. I'm really here to share with you the words of advice that I wish I had many years ago. I had to really work a lot of this out myself. I just did my tax returns. In Australia, we do tax returns at the end of every June, every year. And so I looked back on a number of my tax returns and I looked at how much money I've actually spent on flying to different parts of the world for events on learning how to become successful online, and the coaching packages and the one-on-one mentorships and the books and the DVDs and everything. I've spent more than 6 figures just on learning how to build my business. I've blown money on plugins and software and all sorts of things. And I'm in a place now where I don't spend money on any of that anymore because I already know how to do it. And I can't say that I know everything because I don't. I don't think anybody knows everything. It's important to keep an open mind, to continue to learn, to sit in the student chair and to continue to learn new things. But I am in a place where my business is in autonomy, right? It's an autonomous business. I get to travel around the world. I don't know if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram or any of my social media channels, but you get to see the people that I get to hang out with because I have the freedom and I have the network. I get to travel to a lot of different countries. I've traveled to a third of the world now at 29 years old. And so if you had asked me 5.5 years ago when I started AddictedToSuccess.com, my blog, my website, if I could see myself doing that, I would have called BS. I would have said no freaking way. I could not imagine that. I aspired for things and wanted these things in my life, but I just didn't know I'd be playing at this level until I really committed, not just showing interest, but committed to building an online platform that reaches millions of people every month. And so I'm here today to really help you with the basics. I'm here today to really show you how to go to intermediate. I'm here today to really answer your advanced questions as well. I love being challenged. So if you have any questions, please send them through, leave the comments. I'm not seeing any comments come through here yet, but I'm sure it will when I start sharing. I can bring even more value if you're shouting out on here and saying hi and everything else, and I'm engaging with you. I can't just be talking to a wall or just to myself. I really want to interact with you. So we're going to have an amazing session already as it is, but we could make it even better if you're open to interacting and asking questions. We can bring a lot of value to this. So thank you first and foremost for joining me today. I appreciate you. I love the community that we have with Addicted to Success. It wouldn't be what it is today if the community wasn't there. So if you've made the time to really commit to this, I really appreciate you first and foremost, all right? So let me give you a bit of a background, a backstory on what I'm all about. Right now, I'm actually, just to kind of invite you into my world, I'm in Medellin, Colombia. I don't know if you can see this. We've got a pretty cool view. This is just the balcony I'm standing on right now, but at nighttime, the whole city really lights up. I don't know if you can see out my window. But yeah, anyway, this is my world that I'm in right now. And, it's because I really bit the bullet and committed to building an online business. And so to give you a bit of context on how it all started, this started 5.5 years ago. I was working originally in the music industry. And, I got to work with a lot of amazing artists. I was managing songwriters and producers in the music industry, and there was this thing where I just wasn't happy. My mom, when I was 13 years old, bought me Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I don't know if you've read that yet, but it's a great book. Get your hands on it if you haven't read it. It was a book where a lot of it went over my head, but I remember this paragraph in the book, And Robert Kiyosaki says, you don't have to work for money, you can make money work for you. And so this really just gave me a great understanding of what it means to be an entrepreneur, what entrepreneurship really is. And it sat with me for so many years. And I was in the music industry, and I got to a point where I was sick of playing in the background and making all these moves and waiting on everybody else to make decisions. I wanted to start my own business. And so I didn't know what I was going to do. For once in my life, I never quit, but once in my life I threw the towel in and I left Miami, Florida at 23 years old and flew back to Perth, Australia, where I'm from. And I started in a sales job. So I started reading Grant Cardone sales books, and I got really good at, selling and negotiating and things like that. And I worked my way up in the company. And the CEO of the company actually invited me into a workshop with Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. I don't know if you've seen that movie yet. It's kind of crazy. He's a crazy guy. He's turned his life around. But he was teaching us about how to do sales the ethical way. And also he was helping us to really work out what is our message, what is our vision. And that was the first time I ever put pen to pad, and I really sat down and nutted out what I want in my life, what I love, what I was good at, marketing and computers and playing on the internet and creating things, and the solution that I wanted to bring to the world. And the solution was, I love teaching people. I love doing this. I love sharing my content with others and hearing their stories of how they've applied what I've taught them and how they've built a business themselves. Like I'm all about it. I really want to go in and learn as much as I can, and also share as much as I can with the world. And so I created Addicted to Success 5.5 years ago. That was the day I made the commitment, casted my 10-year vision, and I sat in that 10-year vision, just sitting there. I remember sitting there just going like, I had to really work on my inner beliefs, my limiting beliefs of, I'm not good enough, and failure and mistakes are bad, and, am I worthy of being a person that can play in the self-development space? Do I have the experience? So many things that so many people think initially. I was going through it. And so I had to work through that. And I do this with everybody that wants to start a business. We sit down and go through their beliefs and everything else so that they're ready to go 10x, to really step into their vision and blow their business up. So I had to go through that myself. Everything that I teach today is all my wisdom. It's my experiences. I don't BS people. I don't go out there and teach things that I don't know. I go out there and share from the top of my head. There's no prep, there's no structure in what I do. When I get up on stage, I don't even know what I'm going to say. It's like exclusive content. I tell the crowd, I'm like, is it okay if I share from the top of my head today? Because I don't know what I'm going to say. and they're like, yes. And it's exclusive content. Sometimes you surprise yourself when you show up vulnerable and transparent and give the world everything that you've got, and your mind finds a way to go and grab stuff from your memory bank and just pull it out. And so that's what I do when I teach, when I coach, when I hold my webinars and do my one-on-one trainings, whatever it is, that's what I do. And so with Addicted to Success, I had to go through a series of experiments. And nowadays I teach people on how to cut those corners, to not have to go through the hard tracks that I had to go through and spend the crap loads of money that I spent back in the day. That there's a much easier way to do it nowadays. So that's what I'm all about. I'm all about sharing the wisdom now so that you can follow this dream of creating success online, and it can be fun. Because if you're not having fun, there's no point in doing it, right? You want to identify your values, and you want to find the things that really light you up. You want to find things that you can play with and mold and twist and have fun with and be creative with, all right? So what I would do first and foremost with you, if I was to sit with you one-on-one, it would really be like, let's identify your values. What do you spend most of your time on? What do you spend most of your energy on? What can you do without even thinking about the time that you put into it and the energy you're putting into it? It's just fun for you. What is that thing? If, and this sounds pretty extreme, but I always ask my students this. If somebody had a gun to your head and said you have to write a book in like 3 months, what could you write? Oh, we just dropped out for a sec. Yeah, if you had a gun to your head, what could you write about? What would that thing be? Right? What would that thing be? Really think to yourself, what would that thing be that you could write about? That's your highest value. And so I built Addicted to Success around my top values, which is self-development, business, and contribution. And I also found what I was good at. I loved marketing and creating things online, and I was able to sit and watch YouTube videos and teach myself about setting up WordPress and what plugins are and technical things. And how to market myself and how to position myself to be an influencer and how to collaborate. Right? All these things that most people would find hard to do, I found fun in that because I found the values that aligned with it and I lived in it. So that is one of the most important things, along with your vision for the future. And so your vision actually allows you to be very clear on what it is that you want to achieve in your life over the next 10 years. The more detail you can put into your vision, the step by step, the day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, how it looks, how it's going to feel, who's going to be involved, what level you need to play at. Most people know the direction they want to go in, but they don't know what level they need to play at, right? Someone just asked then how to take action, right? To take action is actually easy when you know what the target is. It's hard to take action if you're sitting there second guessing yourself. And so the vision, which I go into in my Mind Strong Alliance training sessions, I teach people on how to cast a 10-year vision, to have clarity, to have a clarity game plan, to get clear on their goals in the most effective way so that they can take action all day long. And it's like the back of their hand. They can just do it, and just know it inside out, right? So they're the two things you really want to get clear on is your vision and your values. They're like your compass for life, right? They're your fuel. That's your fire that just burns, right? What it is I don't even want to call it motivation because it's not. Motivation is when you need to be encouraged from an external thing. Addicted to Success is a motivational website because I create content and people get to choose whether or not they want to move based off the content they read if it lights them up. Here's the difference between motivation and inspiration. Inspiration is from within. It's the fire from within. And so when you're living in your values, when you're living in your vision, you're inspired every day because that's your true core essence. That's your soul. That's your soul's calling, right? And so that's what we would do first is to really identify that. I can go on about the tips and tricks and hacks and the mechanical things and everything else, but if you're not living in your vision and you're not aligning yourself with your values, you're going nowhere. You're constantly going to have coaches sitting next to you and you're going to, all right, there we go. We're going to have to keep having people push us and that sucks. You don't want that. That's not fun, right? You want to be inspired from within, okay? So once I discovered my values and my vision, which I'm so excited for all you guys to do too, I then jumped on the game plan of like how I'm going to really do this online. Let's just see what the answers I see. Oh my God. There's some funny questions in here. Okay, awesome. Nandi says she's going to check her values. Great information. Thank you so much, guys. Great info, Richel, Sultan, John, he's here listening. Fernando, thanks so much, man. Love your stuff. Thank you. Joe, you're a funny guy. Janisha, what you do and who you inspires everyone, and I'm one among them. Thank you so much, Janisha. I appreciate you. So, a few things that we really want to keep in mind when it comes to positioning yourself online, right? And these are really the principles that I've lived by. I know you are, Joe. I know you're kidding. These are principles that I've lived by to really have success online. And so what I look at is, and it's so cliche, so many people say it, quality over quantity. And it's so true. It's like when I started Addicted to Success, I remember putting content up and I would not settle. I would, like, if I couldn't come up with an idea of an article for that day, I wouldn't just put anything up. I'll wait and I'll post it the next day, right? Until I got to the point where I had a team of contributors just sending articles in, and then I get to pick and choose, right? Now, this can apply for anything. Some of you might not want to put a blog out there, but maybe some of you are looking at putting video content out. Maybe some of you are looking at sharing valuable information around the service that you offer. Maybe some of you are looking at creating products. Whatever it is, have a no compromise approach. And the reason why is because so many people out there are trying to do the easy thing, and the easy thing will throw you in a cesspool of millions, multi-millions of other people. And here's the thing, you don't want to try and be better than someone else, you want to be different. The way you be different is by working hard and working smart. And what I mean by working smart is I mean really doing this, because most people don't do this. Being real with yourself, knowing your values and your vision, living in that because that's you, that's coming from your heart. It's not coming from anywhere else, right? And being fully transparent in the process. Because so many people aren't transparent. They're bullshitting. They're living and what I call chasing freaking unicorns, aka somebody else's definition of success, right? So you don't want to be chasing anybody else's definition of success. When you know your values and your vision, you have your own definition for success. And it makes it easier for you to create content around this because you know what you have to do and how you're getting to what you would like to call that target for success. And so when you're putting content out, you'll have a no compromise approach. Your vision will inspire you to be dedicated, to stick to your goals that you have set. And your vision disciplines you. Your vision starts to choose your friends for you. It starts to help your mind think in a creative way so that you can create your unique content. Not like anybody else is like you. And I don't even look at the competition. I know the competition may be there, but I'm not trying to play their game because it's a losing game. You fucking lose when you start trying to do that. It's about being different. It's easier to be different than it is to be better. So really focus on being different, and the way you do that is not to pay any attention to anybody else's stuff. Have an idea that they're there, kind of see them in the corner of your eye, and that's it. Don't look at their numbers, don't look at everything else. Create what's yours, because you'll be known worldwide for what you do, not what everybody else does. Why would you want to compete against everybody else? There is a massive saturation going on online right now. And so if you can train your mind to be mind strong, and you can train yourself to think in a way where you start to put yourself in a position where you're pushing your creativity so that it starts to become this thing where you automatically think in more of a creative way. And I know this is possible because I'm in that place. I'm writing a book right now. And a month ago, I wasn't in the space to do it because I wasn't training my mind to be in a creative place. Now it goes to a creative place all the time. I'm shooting videos, I'm writing books, I'm thinking of creative ways to build businesses. I'm launching 2 new businesses in the next couple of weeks, right? Because I've trained my mind to be more creative. And that's flow. And so you can get yourself in flow when you really become self-reliant, when you believe that you have something already in you. Everyone has a gift. Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has this amazing offering for the world, a present for the world. And you can do this, but really getting in tune with yourself. So giving yourself the space to create and not getting sidetracked with what everybody else should be doing, what's supposed to be right online. That is an idea that should be thrown out the window now. Shouldn't exist anymore. Because everyone's been trying to play that game for so many years. I've been in this game for nearly 6 years online, and I've seen so many changes, it's ridiculous. I've seen social media platforms crash. I've seen people that were big time multimillionaires that are nobody now. Nobody in the sense of like, people don't really know who they are or care what they do because they've sold themselves out. And so I'm not big on the get rich quick. I'm here to serve others, to share content, and to do what I love and have fun with it. And so that's the place you want to be in too, because it's such an awesome place. I can travel around the world. I have autonomy. I can buy the things that I want to do, and I'm also actually conservative with a lot of things because I put my money into building my business, put my money into experiences. But I've been able to do this is because I become self-reliant and creative, and I'm not trying to play everybody else's game. I'm doing Joel Brown right now. I'm living Joel Brown's life. Not Gary Vaynerchuk's life or Grant Cardone's life or all the other amazing people that I get to hang out with and that I'm good friends with. I don't play their life, I'm playing my own. And a lot of people are trying to live in somebody else's definition of success. So when you're building your presence online, you want to have a variety of content. You're not going to be great at videos straight away, or you may not be great at articles straight away, or you may not be great at infographics and design straight away, but slowly but surely, you'll master the craft of being more and more creative and putting out your own unique content. And the more you do that, and the more you stick to it, the more disciplined you are, more focused, having that black hole focus, shoom, everything goes into a black hole, comes out the other side, is transformed, it's not destroyed. Stephen Hawking got that wrong. He actually admitted it recently. Everything goes in a black hole, it's transformed. When you have that focus, that is when you are rewarded handsomely. That's when your value goes up. That's when you get asked to do things like me, like front cover of magazines. I get interviewed on hundreds of podcasts. This year, I shot in 3 documentaries alone on success and self-development. These opportunities came to me. At first, I was like, whoa, because I didn't believe that I was ready for it. But when you're putting value out there, when you become a valuable human being, when you've worked on yourself, when you're creating unique stuff, you get rewarded handsomely. People come to you and give you on a silver platter. They give it to you because you've worked your ass off, you've been smart, and you've been true to yourself, to your soul's message, to your soul's compass, right? So it's really important for you to think, and I'm talking about all these things that most people want to talk about because a lot of this is mindset, heart set, and it's about being true to you And so many people aren't doing that online. So if you can come from that place, which is the way that the world is shifting, it's moving into more of a spiritual place, not an information place or a industrial place. That's in the past. It's moving into a spiritual space. And what that means to be spiritual, I mean, everybody has a different definition of spiritual and spirituality. But to me, it really means like tapping back into yourself and not relying on plugging into everybody else, right? Going back to the core, going back to the basics and being true and being you. And so if you can really just get that like there and understand that, you're going to go really, really far. And you'll be relevant for years and years and years to come. I've stayed relevant. A lot of the people that I knew back in the day, they're not around anymore because they weren't true to their heart. They were trying to be somebody else. They were trying to be the Frank Kerns or the Eben Pagans or other people and taking the get-rich-quick opportunities and selling themselves out. And people got tired of their stuff. So please, like, just focus on the authenticity, being transparent. Now, what you want to do as well is like always look at what you're building right now online as a brand, not as a blog, not as a little website. I hear it in people's voices when they say, I just run a blog, or I just run a website. No, you don't. You have a freaking brand. So without trying to be too serious about it all, because it's about fun, you got to make sure it's fun. Look at what you're building as a brand. It could potentially be a Fortune 500 company in the future. Like, why not treat it like that, right? So that's a big mistake that a lot of people make, is that they step in thinking it's just this little thing or just this little, and it's always going to be little. If that's how you think, if your vision isn't powerful and amazing, it's always going to be this little thing. And you're going to live little, you're going to live small, you're not going to live big and have big rewards. So you need to think big, believe big, 10-foot tall and bulletproof belief. And the way you do that is by continuing to surprise yourself with what you can create and how you show up authentically. That's how you build your belief, not through anything else. Creating reference points and learning things, yes. Through experience and action, yes. But proving to yourself over and over again that, hey, shit, I actually have something really awesome here because I'm being myself and unique. That is when you build your belief right through the roof, and no one can stop you once you've done that. No one, right? So another thing you want to do is, once you build a platform, whatever it is, find your platform. It could be YouTube, it could be Facebook, it could be on, a blog itself, on a website, it could be through a podcast. Whatever that platform is, leverage hard off that. Once you have a big audience on there, once you've focused on building a community, not a little following on there, but a community, leverage off that. Reach out to people and say, hey, I have, some of you, when you start, you're not going to have a lot of listeners or followers or viewers. It's just how it is. But what it is this. So many people are going up to a tree, a big tree. This is an analogy I'm sharing right now. Going to a big tree and they're swinging an axe, and it's a blunt axe. They're just going boom, 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 boom. They're swinging it thousands of times and it's not knocking the tree down. I'm looking for ways to find a chainsaw and go up and cut that mother down, right? Cut it right down. And the way you do that is by finding what is that one thing that you really should be focusing on in the industry that you're looking at stepping in the online space, that is a chainsaw that will cut that tree down. For me, and I'm going to be honest with you, and based off everything that I've learned, I'm going straight to video. Me cutting and jumping in front of it, having the balls, having the courage. This is what people reward you for. Having the courage to stand in front of a video camera. I have so many people that contact me and say to me, Joe, I want to create a self-development website and a brand and a company like you. And I'm like, that's great. That's awesome. Do it. If that's what your heart tells you to do, if that's what your soul is screaming at you, do it. But just know that you're going to have to work 3 times harder than I ever did. Especially if you're not wanting to learn from me, if you're not, in the Millions Online course and you're not learning the ways that I've done it and what's real now and what's true now in the industry. And also I asked them, would you be willing to stand in front of a camera? And 90% of them say no. They want to sit behind a keyboard and hide, or behind their brand, which is what I did for the first 3 years. Nobody knew who I was for the first couple years or few years until I started getting out on interviews, and it was the biggest mistake I made, right? But getting in front of a video camera and putting yourself on the line. People love authenticity. When I talk, I might trip on words, I might stutter, I might repeat myself, but it's true and it's authentic and it's real and people vibe with that. That's what they want now. That's the example, that's the standard now. So if you're ready to go there, just imagine whatever you're stepping into, whether it's podcasts, Facebooks, YouTube, whatever, Really just look at it and go, let's go to the pinnacle. What's the top of that? Jump on it and go, cool, could I shoot a video on this? And you don't have to be perfect. F perfect. Screw perfect. Shouldn't even be a word in the dictionary. Right? The moment I started harnessing that as my mantra, the moment I started to really throw the word perfect out the window, and I take a video, I don't do double takes on videos anymore. I do one take. If I go back for a second take, I feel like out of alignment. I feel like almost like this is ridiculous. So it's one take. If you can get into the space of practicing just to go, like at first, yes, it is practicing, but as soon as you can get into the space of doing one take, just to go boom, then shoot another video, boom, off the top of your head. Exercise being in that space. It's like a muscle, you know? You gotta keep exercising that. That is gonna bring your value through the roof. If you can stand in front of a camera, Facebook Live, Facebook video, video on YouTube, all these things are getting massive reach and massive engagement, and it's beating everything else out of the park. It's beating infographics, it's beating picture quotes, it's beating even audio itself. Because people build rapport with you, they see you, they feel you, right? The real you if you're putting the real you out. So think of like what is the pinnacle in your industry or in your area or your niche, whatever it is, in your area of interest, and go for the pinnacle. Start there. Jump in the deep end and do it. This is how this game is all about value. How can you become someone of value? If somebody grabbed addictedtosuccess.com and threw it offline and it disappeared, I can still have so much autonomy in my life because I've built 5, 6 other residual income streams, and I get asked to speak all the time, and I have opportunities coming at me left, right, and center because of the person that I have become through the process of putting myself out there. It's not about what I actually have. If everything got stripped away from me, I could say for sure within 6 months to a year, I'd be back on top crushing because of the person that I've become, right? And so the more you practice this, and this is why I love the online space, because it gives us a platform and a space to put ourselves out there, to exercise sharing our unique self, okay? So a few things you really want to live by when it comes to creating content. Keep it juicy. What I mean by that is jazzy, just like something that's fresh, right? Fresh for the market, fresh for the industry, just something that really just is like, it's got a lot of passion and energy behind it coming from you. You, in the juicy, you is unique, right? You, we just talked about this. The whole spiel is on you, right? Jazzy, unique, interesting, something that like is educational or is funny or just something that's interesting that keeps people in tune and really engage with what you're doing. Jazzy, unique, informative, interesting, informative, creative, meaning you're trying something just slightly different, something different. It's easier to be different than it is to be better. And then Y is you, fully you, just you as a person. And what I do sometimes is like I get asked to write blog articles. I will even just hit record on an audio and just speak into it and then get someone to translate that into an article, to transcribe that into an article. And that's me, that's Joel, that's you. That's, you know, whoever, whatever your name is on here that's listening right now, that's you. Doing things like that is you. And so that's when you become somebody of value because you're exercising that over and over again. I mean, I can keep beating this drum, but this is the most important thing. If this is another thing too, when I started Addicted to Success, at first I was like, wow, is this really broad? Because it's just self-development, it's huge. It could be spirituality, life, entrepreneurship, business, quotes, whatever, right? But here's the thing, I didn't want to niche it up. Some people say niche, find your niche, find your niche. Yes, find your niche if there is a niche. But if your values and your vision align so much with the broad market, which for me is self-development, if it's fitness and you just love everything about fitness or love everything about health, have the courage to go all in on all that. I'm going the other direction. I'm telling people to go all in on the broad if that's what really lights you up, because that is what lights you up, and what is your value and your vision is going to be more important than trying to niche and hitting your target, all that stuff. That's marketing BS stuff. And for some people it works and it makes sense for sure. But really don't have the courage to go for the broad market if that's really what you aspire to. All right. Another thing is this, you're going to want to connect with amazing people in your industry. A lot of people ask me all the time, how do I reach out to influencers? You know, how do I, I've had the opportunity to interview Tony Robbins and Deepak Chopra and Gary Vaynerchuk and Grant Cardone and Simon Sinek and John Assaraf and Vishen Lakhiani, all these amazing people. here's the thing. You have to come at them from an angle of, and remember this, WIIFM. What's in it for me? And so everybody, that's their favorite radio station. They tune into that all the time. So when you come to them, you need to come to them from an angle of, hey, this is what I have. I love what you do. I appreciate what you do. I respect what you do. And I have this for you. Not this. I'm getting thirsty. But I have this for you. And whatever it is, you really need to work out what is that thing that they are going to bite, that they're going to hold, that they're really looking for right now. No matter how big somebody is, they're looking for something at a certain point in the year. What I do is I jump on Amazon and I look at the ratings and the reviews, and I see, who's really booming right now, and I educate myself on who's doing well in the industry. Most people I know now, but some I don't. And then I have a look, I look that person up, and I'll see if they've got a book coming out, if it's on pre-order. And whenever somebody's book's coming out, or if they have an event coming out, there's a big event of theirs, or they have a movie or a TV show or something, that's the opportunity to jump at it. Right there, go for it, right? Find the people. Every industry has influencers and has leaders. You want to find what is the right time to reach out to these people, because sometimes they could be deep in writing their book and they don't want to be in touch with anybody. So you've got to find the right timing. A lot of it's about timing. And then it's the approach. Build your platform by creating your own unique content, which is yours and awesome, and consistently do that. And then leverage off that and share with them the numbers, the biggest numbers. I could say, addicted to success. I'm going to shut this door because this dog's going berserk. I could say, on Addicted to Success, we have 2 million views a month. But what sounds even better, because you got to think about how you frame it, is we've reached 104 million views worldwide in the last 6 years, 5.5 to 6 years. It's a big number. People see that. And I say new exposure for ... whoever it is when I email them. And so everybody, no matter how big they are, they want new exposure. So you can give somebody that. Don't lie to them. Be honest with what you can offer. Don't exaggerate at all. But really find out an angle that's going to be of massive value for them. Okay? Compliment them too. And be specific about your compliments so that they know, wow, this guy actually really knows my stuff. Say, I love that you wrote this in your second book or your first book, or I love that you said this on this radio interview. It really vibed with me, it resonated with me. And be genuine about it. That's the best way to connect with people. They remember you, and take advantage of that connection while you're talking to them. After, ask them if there's a way you can stay in contact with them, because you'd love to help them with some more things or whatever. Just like really try and keep the contact going, and tell them you're going to promote them on every channel. Follow up after the interview. Find out who their assistant is and keep in contact with them too, so you always got that contact. Your network is going to really determine, like everybody says, your net worth. Not your financial money, wealth net worth. What's more important is the net worth of what you have created around you, and also the person you become. I can contact so many of these amazing people now, and I've created friendships with them. To me, that's a massive net worth. I can get coaching from so many people that usually charge 5 grand, 10 grand, 15, 20 grand for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours or a whole day. And I'm friends with them now because I've helped them out to be on my platform and to get exposure, that they're giving me these things for free because I help them, they help me. That to me is massive net worth. I'm not having to spend 5, 10, 15, 20 grand. I'm even getting shared to their network with the content that I create and that I've created with them. So just think of it like that. I'm really just trying to encourage you to shift your perspectives and see how you can leverage off all these things online. So what you want to do as well is you want to get ahead of the hard work. When you're setting stuff up, you want to make sure you get all the technical stuff down and sorted. Look up, do the research on like what are some struggles that people have had in your industry so you can mentally prepare for it so you're not thrown off and so you can manage your expectations. They say the key to happiness is to lower your expectations, and as morbid as it sounds, sad as it sounds, it's actually kind of true. So you want to have fun with this, manage your expectations by looking up what were the struggles that people had in the industry that you're getting into, podcasting, YouTubing, Facebook, e-commerce, whatever it is online, even brick and mortar businesses. Really do your research so that you know what to expect so you can get ahead of the curve. So you can get ahead of that so you can work smart, right? Not just hard, but smart, okay? What you also want to do as well is make sure that you don't alienate yourself. For the first 3 years of running Addicted to Success, I had a Superman complex. I essentially thought that, and it was a scarcity mindset, it was a limiting belief that I had, where I had to hug the whole pie, I couldn't give a piece to anybody else. and I just felt like nobody could do it as good as me, and that it needed to be perfect. Now I don't live by the perfect. I just take the action and do it. And so really don't alienate yourself. Look at building a community around what you're doing. Build a team, build a tribe, build supporters, like help them, let them help you. That's how you go further. You can go kind of far by yourself, but you can go even further with a team. I got an amazing killer team right now. I got a SWAT team that works with me with Addicted to Success and the Mind Strong Alliance and Millions Online and the other courses and the masterminds that I run, everything else. They're amazing. Then I also have my people, my homies, right? Preston Smiles and Peter Voog, Alexi Panos, Peter Kelly, Javon Langford and Jake Ducey, all these amazing guys and millennials that I'm connected with right now. We all help each other. We all share each other's videos to our hundreds of thousands of people, followers, and millions of followers. We all help each other, right? And that's leverage, leverage, leverage. But we're doing it because we love each other. We build an actual real friendship outside of the online space. So really focus on community, really engaging with your fans, your followers, and getting them involved. Ask them questions, do things like this, jump on webinars and jump on Facebook Lives and give them massive value so that they appreciate what you do and continue to share your content too. And so everybody's getting value. It's a win-win-win. And also develop great friendships with people in the offline world too, in the real world. You want to do that. Something that I had to learn as well, I'm just kind of like thinking of these things off the top of my head. Another thing I had to learn as well is in the first year of running Addicted to Success, I didn't put any ads on my website. And the reason why I didn't put any ads on the website is because I didn't want it to look like a billboard. I wanted to keep as many people as I could coming back to Addicted to Success. And what a lot of people do is on their websites or their podcasts or their YouTube channel, just smash it with ads. And that's not important. What's important first is to build a community. Then you can look at monetizing, right? Now, I had a number of people ask me, I just have a look here real quick because I can't check. Gracia asked, where is it, this question here? Gracia asked, how do you initiate an online site successfully to make money? Go back to your values and your vision. Make sure that you're not just chasing success in the online space because your definition may be somebody else's, which is to be a millionaire to make money, when really that doesn't light you up. First and foremost, I do that. Now, if you do value money, or if you really, really need it, it's going to help you to live in your other values too, then we're talking about monetizing. That's when we focus on monetizing. And so for me, I'm going to be honest with you, when I first started Addicted to Success, I made it all about money. The reason why I made it all about money is because I did the math. When I casted my vision with Jordan Belfort in the room, I did the math. I calculated, I found my pain point. Everyone has a pain point somewhere. My pain point was driving 1 hour to work, 1 hour back every day, 5 days a week. And I did the math. That's 10 hours a week, 40 hours a month, 400 something hours a year wasting my life in traffic. And when I did the math and the calculation, you could do this too on whatever you're running and find your pain points. I was like, hell no, I'm getting out of this. And so I made it all about money so that I could get away from that because I hated the idea of wasting my life. I want to experience life and live in life, you know, instead of sitting in the traffic and going to work and working for a boss. So find your pain points and let that be your driver initially, right? And it's okay to say that you need money first. A lot of people say, oh, it's greedy or it should be about contribution. Look, if you don't have the money and you need it, you need to look after yourself first. You need to fill your cup with love. You need to love yourself and be truthful to yourself and not worry about being perfect and know that you are good enough, right? That's the most important. And then you also want to make sure you're keeping the security there and financially looking after yourself too, so that you can invest in your business, so you can take your partner out for a date, so you can go and experience things in the world. So you can feel confident about what you're building and knowing that it's growing, right? So monetizing, there's a number of ways. You can publish ads on your website. Don't do it until you've got a certain amount of traffic. Set a goal and say, you know, I'm going to put ads on my site once I reach 10,000 views a day or 5,000, whatever the number is, right? And that might get you 20 bucks, 30 bucks, 40 bucks a day, maybe 10 bucks a day, whatever it is. It adds up at the end of the month. At the end of the month, I started looking at my income from Google AdSense. And it was like, you know, every day I calculated and saw how much money was being made from the ads I was publishing. And I was like, oh, I can pay for a Subway, you know, a Subway lunch, right? And then, oh, I can pay for a Subway and a Red Bull. I don't drink Red Bull anymore, but, you know, that was important to me back then. And then, oh, I can pay for my gas for my car, my petrol, right? And then, oh, plus I can pay for my rent, and plus I can pay for my cell phone bills, and plus I can pay for travel once every few months. And so it just kept adding up till I got to a point where I went in and told my pain in the ass boss it's costing me too much to be here. You know, then that day, when I left my day job, I realized that it's about freedom. That's what I was looking for. And so many of you right now are living in this hamster wheel of life, stuck in something you don't love, selling yourself short every day. And so getting yourself to a place where you have autonomy, and we're talking about autonomy where like you have that passive income, that residual income, where it's like money while you sleep. While you're sleeping, the money's going cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. That's smart money, right? You want to make smart money. And so you want to monetize through publishing ads, if that's what you're interested in. I started writing, I wrote an ebook. Funny story, I was in India and a coconut tree fell over and wiped out the power line, and I didn't have any internet for a whole week, and I was like beside myself. But then I decided to write an ebook on how to basically set up how to set up a website through WordPress. What I did is called The Formula. It's a great manual. It's basic, and like everyone that wants to start out with creating a website online, they should read it because it's a step-by-step on what I did, and will show you how to do it from scratch. So I put that out. You know, and that the orders come through still to this day. Orders come through. I've sold nearly 10,000 books, and it's $20 a pop, right? So it adds up. But I'm also able to help so many people, and people come to me after that for coaching. It's part of my Millions Online course as well, that people can get that. Plus, I get all the other training, the video training, and the webinars and everything else, right? Which I'm going to share the advice on that too, and tell you a little bit about that after this, but. Yeah, you could do that, right? Ebook sales. And then there's affiliates where you promote other people's products and content to a mailing list. Once you capture people in a mailing list on your website or through your YouTube videos or from your podcast, whatever it is, you can promote other people's products that you believe in. Make sure you've tried the product yourself first and don't sell yourself short. Always align yourself with things that vibe with you, that resonate with you, because your reputation is on the line. Your association determines your destination. So be very careful of who you associate with. All right? Because your destiny could end up being pretty rough and not what you want it to be if you're around the wrong people and if you're promoting the wrong people. Right? So be very careful with the affiliate stuff, but it can be very powerful. You could get, $2,000 check, a $5,000 check here, depending on what the commission cuts are. It might be 30%, 40% on certain products. If they're amazing people, like I believe in John Assaraf's stuff. I shared his stuff, I've gone into affiliate deals with my own things, with other people, and got them to promote my stuff, and it's worked really well. So you can do that. And then other ways would be, speaking and coaching. I get asked all the time to do a one-on-one coaching, and so I've been doing a lot of that lately and helped so many people, which has been so fun. And then you got the membership program, which I have, the Mind Strong Alliance, where I actually teach people twice a week. All the members in the group get to hear from experts that I interview, the people in my network. They also get live Q&A training with me on everything mindset, how to become mind strong, how to become self-reliant. And that's the most important thing. If you don't have this, then you can't build a business. Your business will only grow to the extent that you do. So there's that. There's a plethora of other opportunities. You can advertise through your podcast with audio ads. You got $300, $400 a pop, depending on how many listeners and viewers you have. Ads on YouTube videos as well. You could join an ad network. And if you have some amazing videos, then you get promoted through there, and the ads published, and you get the check every month or every couple of weeks, depending on what the deal is. Mobile ads as well. And selling other people's products through your social media channels. They're just a number of ways that are off the top of my head that I've tried and tested and work and are great. But you can keep exploring. There's always new things coming up around the corner. You could do shout outs as well. A number of my friends have big networks on Instagram and Facebook, and they get paid per shout out. $200 here, $200 there. Some of them have $1,000 days, $2,000 days. The opportunities are absolutely endless. So anyway, look, I appreciate you guys being on this Facebook Live video training with me. I really do. I've seen a number of questions that have popped up. I've answered them all. But if we have any more questions, that'd be great. One question actually came through beforehand from Muhammad Saqib Awan. And he said, I want to start a business of any kind in my job as an accountant, but I have fear of loss and could not believe in other people. Is it possible to make this happen? So my answer would be this. You have a limiting belief that's in play right now that failure and mistakes are bad. And this is actually one of the top 3 common limiting beliefs. I'm not loved, I'm not good enough, failure and mistakes are bad. They're running through so many of our heads that we really need to work on it. And so what I would challenge you to do is, before you even want to start this business, because you're going to start your business in a bad place if that's your mindset, is to really sit down and write out all the reasons why it could work and what you could do to trust people and how people could surprise you. Because right now it's just a story. It's just a story in your head. It's a BS story. There is somebody else out there right now that's starting an accounting company and they're making it happen because they aren't listening to the story. Everybody has stories. You got to turn the volume down on your story and turn the volume up on your dreams. All right? That's what you want to do. Quote that as well. Quote me on that because that came out well. So yes, turn down the story that is limiting you and turn up the story that is powerful, that's coming from your vision, from your values and your dreams. Okay? If we have any more questions, please send them in. Before we do that, I'm just going to mention you can head over to mindstrongalliance.com/millionsonline, and we actually have this limited time offer right now. This is normally $197 for all my Millions Online training. I teach you how I built my online business from the ground up. I bring experts in to share their advice with you. We've got Gary Vaynerchuk and Preston Smiles and Peter Voog and a lot of other amazing individuals we're bringing into it as well. You get the formula ebook where it's like all the basics on how to start everything up, plugins and SEO and everything else. Plus, you also will get my live speech from an event that I spoke at for about an hour and a half, breaking everything down. What I did, all the secrets, all the juice, everything that I've done to really get ahead with Addicted to Success. And this is gonna save you 6 figures, more than 6 figures, because that's what I had to spend to really learn all this stuff. So for $197 is what it usually goes for. This is going for $97 right now, and I'm saving you 6 figures. It's a no-brainer, right? It's an absolute no-brainer. So $97 instantly, that's what you get it for. If you also want the additional, which is a year membership, the annual membership of the Mind Strong Alliance, which is my coaching. Twice a month you get coaching, you get live Q&A with me, you get to ask me questions, you're in the group, you get experts coming in, amazing experts, they share all their advice on how they became successful, and I really help you to build a strong mindset so you can level up in life. You get that along with Millions Online for $297. All right, and so that there is worth nearly $490. It's worth nearly $500 in itself, but you get it for $297 instantly. So if you loved everything that I shared today, if you really want to go all in on this, you want to get your mind right, you want to get your business right, you want to excel online, you want success, you want freedom, you want autonomy, you want happiness, you want travel, you want fun, then invest in this. Because I invested 6 figures. You're investing a 1/100th or a 1,000th of that just by joining this. But anyway, it's running out in like 5 days, five and a half days. Please don't miss it. It's my gift for you. And I appreciate everybody on this call. I'm going to share the link in the comments and you can click on it and please just join today and I'll see you in the group. All right, let's really shift the gears. Let's switch it up and let's take it to the next level in your life. All right, love you all and I'll catch you all later. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.